Now, if you want to take your cold exposure to the next level because you're getting bored of those cold showers, or if you want to just see how it is to take an ice bath, or if you're just curious to know how to build your own ice barrel, this video is for you. I will share with you exactly why I built my ice barrel and how to build it step by step. Now, why did I build my ice barrel? To be very honest, I built it because I've seen that the Wim Hof method in general, and cold exposure being more specifically, has been a game changer for me. Now, to be very honest, I guess that you are probably already doing cold exposure, taking cold showers, because if you want to build an ice barrel, you probably have already tried cold showers. But if not, let me tell you how it is. I remember that 2.5, 3 years ago, when I first got introduced to it, I was always cold. In the winter, I had cold feet, cold hands all the time. I was very often sick when people around me were sick, and I was not very motivated, not very happy. Cold exposure, I've seen on myself, has made me much more relaxed, has improved my mood by a lot. Yes, gave me much more energy, much more motivation. I can now go around in t-shirt and shirts in winter because I became a much warmer person. And yeah, it just has been such a game changer habit for me. So highly recommend taking cold showers, but you have to do your research and don't do stupid things. Like, always stay safe because there are some risks related to it. Anyways, do your research and you will find out anything you want to know about it on the internet. Especially the Wim Hof method explains everything. Anyways, I got introduced to the Wim Hof method by a friend of mine. And so I tried out cold exposure, and I fell in love with it. To be very honest, last year I told myself I have to try out this ice baths. So I was in Canada, thought to myself, this is a fucking amazing opportunity because the Canadian winter is actually very cold. So I bought myself a 360 liter basically trash bin. I put it outside and I filled it up with water, and every single day I went outside. Didn't matter if it was -10, -20, didn't matter. Broke the ice, and just jumped in there and just got the amazing benefits of cold exposure. Just such an amazing thing, to be very honest. So this year I thought to myself, I have to do it again, but even better, right? So I had the choice. Between buying myself some metal thing, right? I had the choice between buying myself a 2K ice barrel, or I had the choice of buying myself some plastic thing or a wooden barrel. I thought to myself, bro, what the fuck? This barrel looks much better. It's made out of wood, and I try to avoid plastic as much as possible. So the wood was actually a good choice. And it's fucking stable, it's resistant, it looks nice. So I bought myself a barrel, $90, something like that. And yeah, I just finished building it. It's actually very easy. If you're asking yourself, how can I build my ice barrel? It's very simple. Buy yourself an ice barrel. I paid it $90 and it's 500 liters. But most people just have 225. Personally, I've seen that I'm actually quite high, so I don't want to buy a small one so that every day I'm there like really inside, like with no space inside. So I thought to myself, I'll buy myself a 500 liter one. The next thing that I had to do was choose what kind of lid I wanted to make, because I had 4 choices. I could cut the lid on the side, like underneath the first metal ring, but very simply that would have made it much too heavy. So I thought to myself, Second choice was to cut it on top, basically a circle, and take out the wooden lid. And that would have actually been a good choice, but I thought to myself the other 2 choices are much better. So the third choice would have been to take away the metal rings and take basically away the lid without breaking it, without cutting anything, and just put on the metal rings again, There is a specific technique. I watched a few videos, but I realized that I didn't have the tools for it. I didn't want to buy them. And it would have been kind of difficult if you don't really know what you're doing. So I thought to myself, I don't want to break my whole ice barrel just to take out the lid. So the fourth option was to just break the lid so that the ice barrel would have been like intact, but I would have like no lid. So I just broke the lid. I just had to drill in it. I had to hammer in it. I had to cut it up. Ended up making it. Actually, I asked my father to do it because right now I'm not very able to walk on 2 feet. Anyways, yeah, so now I have my ice barrel. I just washed it out inside like with the pressure water machine, and I filled it up, and that's it, bro. It's literally as simple as that. Now I'll make myself a new lid out of wood, probably. So that's it, so that it doesn't become the private pool for some birds that will probably die in it if they get into it. So didn't want that to happen, so I told myself I'll probably make myself a lid. And yeah, so it's as simple as that. Buy yourself an ice barrel, cut the top, or choose how you want to have the lid. Cut it on top, cut it on the side, take away the rings and take away the lid, or just break it down and create a new lid. That's step 2. Step 3, wash it inside really well, because it kind of stinks the first time. There is still a little bit of wine in it. At least mine was a wine barrel. 4th step is to fill it up. 5th step is to enjoy it. Now, I cannot jump in it right now because, as I said, I'm not able to walk right now. I broke my knee, so I have to wait a few weeks still until I will be there enjoying my ice barrel. But I'm really hyped because I know how much of a game changer it has been for me. Last year it was an amazing thing, so I'm already hyped. Anyways, I cannot recommend you enough to try cold exposure. Do it with brain, because no brain, no gain. There are some risks related to it, but if you do your research and do it safely, there would probably not be any problem. So yeah, that's the main tip that I can give you. And if you want to see how I actually use my ice barrel, just subscribe to this channel, because in a few weeks I will be releasing a video about it. Anyways, now you know how to create your own one. And if you don't want to create your own one, I highly recommend you to try out cold exposure by doing cold showers in general. But still, do your research. Anyways, I hope this video helped you out. I wish you all the best and see you in the next one.